Hi everyone, Morgan here. We are on page 3 of the Unit 4 lecture outline dealing with moles and stoichiometry for Honors Chem. And we're going to start out today by taking the ideas from our mole chart from the last lecture a little bit farther. So, just to kind of recap, we saw that this was very linear. If 1 mole of H2 weighs 2.02 grams, then 2 moles of it would have to weigh 4.04 grams. 3 moles would have to weigh 6.06 grams. What we're doing is we're taking this molar mass, we're multiplying it by 2, or we're multiplying it by 3. Okay? Now that's nice and easy when it's round numbers like 1 and 2 and 3. But if the numbers start to get a little ugly, then we need a better plan of attack. So we're going to introduce what a lot of people call a graphic organizer today, but I just refer to it as a simple roadmap. And that is molecules of A, moles of A, and the mass of A. And A is just whatever chemical it is we happen to be dealing with. Now, to go from moles to molecules, we know that we multiply by Avogadro's number. 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So then to go from molecules to moles, we must divide by Avogadro's number. Then, to go from moles to mass, we know that we multiply by the molar mass. And to go from mass to moles, we divide by the molar mass. All right, that is a nice, straightforward graphic organizer at the top of this page for as we're doing these problems. Okay, so let's start off with how many grams are in 3.75 moles of water. So just like with our metric conversions, 3.75 moles water, that's the given, times, now I'm going to need the molar mass. So I got hydrogen, oxygen, 2 hydrogens times 1.01, and 1 oxygen times 16.00, and that has to be 18.02. So now, 18.02 grams of water over 1 mole of water. See, to go from moles to mass, I multiply by the molecular weight. Or think about it the same way we thought about metric conversions. I want to cancel moles, I put it on the bottom. I want to get grams, I put it on the top. Moles of water is going to cancel, and I get 67.6 grams of water, because I am paying attention to sig figs. 3 sig figs times 4 sig figs mean I end up with 3. Okay. Now the reason I can write 1 mole water down here is that the definition of molar mass is the mass in grams of 1 mole of a substance. Now how about if I have to go the other way? 100.0 grams of water, and I want to convert it to moles. 1 mole water on top, and 18.02 grams water on the bottom, because when I'm in grams and I want to go to moles, I divide by the molar mass. Those cancel, 5.549 moles water. Okay? Very much like those metric conversions. Now I hope you understand why I was pushing you to do them that same way. How many grams are in 1.00 moles of NaCl is our next question. So 1.00 moles NaCl. Okay, new compound, sodium, chlorine, 1 times, and my periodic table says 22.99 for sodium and 35.45 for chlorine, and that gives me 58.44. So I am multiplying by the molar mass when I go from moles to mass. So upstairs, 58.44 grams NaCl, 1 mole NaCl. Works out nicely that those cancel. Now, because of sig figs, even though I'm multiplying by 1, my answer is just 58.4 grams NaCl, because my answer needs to have 3 sig figs. Okay. We're going on to a new one. It's called methane, CH4, carbon, hydrogen, 1 times 12.01, and 4 times 1.01, 16.05. All right, so I have 32.10 grams of CH4, and I want to convert that into moles. So to go from the mass, which is grams, to moles, I divide by the molecular weight. 16.05 grams of CH4, then upstairs 1 mole CH4. Grams cancels. My calculator actually says that's 2, but I need to write it as 2.000 moles CH4. Okay? 4 sig figs to my answer. Now let's look at one last one, just like all these, just so we know that you're good at it. 3.33 moles of NH3. MOL is typically how we abbreviate it, but I'm trying to write it out for you today. All right, nitrogen, hydrogen, 1 times 14.01 and 3 times 1.01. I get 17.0124. So 17.04 grams of NH3, 1 mole NH3 equals, the moles cancels, and my calculator said 56.7 when I rounded it off for correct sig figs. All right, now we're just going to take it one step farther. We're going to bring molecules into play. How many molecules are in 200.0 grams of Cr2S3? So when I go back up here, I have to go from mass to moles and then moles to molecules. There's not a shortcut. There's not just a one-step way of doing this. Okay? So, Cr 2 times, and that's 52.00 in sulfur, and that's 3 times 32.07, and that actually adds up to be 200.21. So, 200.0 grams Cr2S3 times 1 mole Cr2S3 over 200.21 grams Cr2S3. Grams cancel. Remember, I love canceling units. Get in that habit. And then Avogadro's number. Downstairs, I'll write 1 mole, and I can put Cr2S3 if I like, and upstairs 6.022 times 3. And those moles are going to cancel. And when I ran this one through my calculator, 4 sig figs to the answer, I got 6.016 molecules All right, so show you the top half of the page again if necessary. You can pause. I'm going to move this down to the bottom half of the page. Let it focus. And if necessary, you can pause the video and check how you did. Okay, folks, that's it for page number 3. You can tune back in almost immediately to check out page number 4. Thanks for tuning in today.